It's your boy Brother Big, and once again another episode of the Big Talk. This time guys, aku nak sembang pasal my guest next to me yang baru-baru ni dia emotional dekat show. Kenapa dia emotional? Jom, let's jump on. Tak payah jump lah sebab dia sebelah aku je. Please show your love for IMRAN AJMAIN. Assalamualaikum bang.
Waalaikumsalam.
Apa khabar kita?
Baik, alhamdulillah.
It is a huge pleasure guys, even bigger than me, that he is here today. And to my surprise, kita orang sama tinggi.
Sama.
Boleh masuk WWE?
Boleh.
Boleh. Abang kata boleh, kita on je lah. First and foremost bang, how has 2022 been for you?
Actually, I think it would be the same for a lot of people. 2022 post-pandemic, is the start of the roaring 20s.
Yes.
So everything is coming up, everything's blooming up, everything is coming back.
Alhamdulillah.
So that's a good thing.
Yep.
Speaking
of good things, kita punya live shows, gigs, festivals are booming. Setengah orang kata kebanjiran show lah orang cakap.
Betul.
Okay. Speaking in that sense, you recently, ini yang personal experience ya guys, perform dekat Angkasa Riot, di mana first and foremost the show was made to help orang kata make funds untuk tolong hidupkan balik angkasa space lah. So during your performance bang, we saw this moment where I would think that you tak expect. At one point you sang your hit 1000 tahun, and at one point you macam broke down of emotions. Okay, before we carry on with the formalities abang, please explain apa abang rasa time tu.
Wow. I am very familiar dengan the indie gig scene Malaysia and Singapore. I myself grew up in the hip hop gig scene in Singapore. So when I started out, that was the kind of environment yang I tahu, yang I kenal tau.
Alright.
Warehouse, open stage, people, standing crowd.
Yes.
And then the transition to me being a pop R&B singer, I do not get that crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, I get the corporate crowd, I get the media crowd, I get seated VIPs, and paling tidak when moving towards now, like modern day, I still don't get that crowd. It's always a polite crowd.
Oh, I like that term, polite crowd.
Tetamu yang sopan. Because my music memang attract that demographic.
Okay.
Yeah, so I accept it. Tapi bila kita dapat peluang perform outside the polite crowd, and dapat crowd yang sangat-sangat encouraging, and it's a cross between orang yang tak kenal tapi buat homework, orang yang kenal satu lagu tapi sangat supportive and nak find out more. So it all met in that 20-minute set that I have. So, and they were singing all of my songs. And by the time sampai lagu yang famous yang orang semua kenal, they took over me. So, diorang yang nyanyi kan lagu tu word for word daripada start sampai ke hujung. And I have been dying for this return to that stage. I think 20 years, I think I've been dying to see that again. And I got that through Angkasa Riot.
Oh, see guys, because I'm not sure if abang is aware or not, especially both on Twitter dengan TikTok, that part of you,
yeah, I know,
for maybe the next 3-4 days, FYP trending, I'm like, scroll naik, tekan tolak naik, that's it. Macam-macam angle, for me my angle was from his right side. Imagine videos that came up yang betul-betul dari bawah you, dari kiri you, everywhere lah.
I'm a Instagram stories person. I chronicle everything.
Correct.
But 3 hari tu tak boleh. I just wanted to chase after semua orang yang datang yang mention.
Yes.
So kita kejar dia orang tau, macam nak kena bagi break sikit because the impressions dah start jatuh tau. Because sekarang ni kita tengah bukan nak naikkan kita punya views tau. Kita tengah nak hormat orang yang suka kita ni.
Yes, I like that guys.
Betul
bang. That's a nice way to put it bang.
Kita nak hormat dia sebab diorang datang tu, diorang dengan diorang tak ada misi tau, tak ada agenda tau. Diorang bukan ni fan club IMRAN AJMAIN, bukan. No such thing.
Actually that's really true, Bang. Especially Angkasa Riot yang where we mix the genres and the performers, be it solo, band, apa orang kata instrumental ke akustik ke, everyone came and enjoyed.
Actually, I asked the organizer to put me in the hip hop section 4 PM. I asked them, I spoke to Nadia. Nadia cakap, kenapa you nak pukul 4? You belakang-belakang lah, jadi orang boleh datang tengok you. Cakap, I'm doing -1 set. I'm doing a -1 set.
Correct.
And for me, I'm not prepared for my band. I mean, 3 years I haven't played with a band. I haven't played a live show. So, aku tak sempat dah nak buat live band punya show. Dan dia cakap, tak apa, orang tak kisah. And I was most anxious about that. Because I know it's a bit sticky lah. Sebab dia macam hina tau sebenarnya. Untuk pop artist ni, dia nyanyi -1 dekat a setting yang macam tu. Dia faham. Dia hina lah. Sendiri nak kena mengaku lah benda tu. Tapi because I'm not prepared and I got the full support from the hashtag team and the Angkasa team and Fresh Town and Luas and who else? Atas Angin. They were like, tak apa mah, it's okay. If you saw me backstage, I was so worried because this is not my crowd.
I saw. Yeah, that's true.
I was pounding. I felt macam, what the hell am I doing here? Because macam Saf, Bihar and like the other boys in the hip hop segment, right? I'm so familiar with their work. I'm very familiar in that setting. Because they either have a DJ or they play -1. And I was so prepared to do that. Nadia cakap, 9:30, please. 9:30. Alright, 9:30 arrived and I went on stage and oh my god, best gila.
There you go. Yes, there you go. He said it. Because one more thing before we carry on. Let me just justify kat abang. Memang betul segala nama yang abang sebut, hardcore ke apa semua, yang melutut, yang pakai baju tengkorak, like me myself, we were all singing along. Siap ada tim angkasa tolong keluarkan lirik you lagi.
Betul.
Dekat LED board kat belakang tu.
Betul, that was helpful.
And then lagi bergema. And then when we saw that part where he did this, kan kita orang kat tepi. Okay bang, shout out to my boy Ismail dari band Transition yang quote retweet cakap keluar air mata jantan. Ni betul bang. Betul, true story. Alright, tadi abang dia cakap pasal that 20 years gap, the transition to going to crowd sopan tu kan. So first and foremost, back in 2015, okay, you did an album tour around Malaysia acoustically, if I'm not wrong, correct? Okay. Since jarang artis solo buat tour kat Malaysia, what made you want to do that back then?
Right. Actually, I'm very passionate about touring sebenarnya. Okay, because you might, for people who knows who I am or people who maybe follow my career, yang follow je lah, yang tak kenal tu memang tak kenal. I am associated with ballads and my songs are hits on radio and I live online and on social media.
Okay.
So this does not come with the mindset and the natural checklist that as a pop R&B artist, you're going to go on tour, you're going to have merchandise, you're going to have a showcase, you're going to have do concerts. It doesn't come with being a pop artist.
Okay.
Pop artist, 20 years ago, label keluarkan duit, kita pump duit dia, kita bawa dia pergi mana-mana, it's still a -1 show. It's still a depan media, ada backdrop, it's still meet and greet 20-30 orang.
Okay.
It's still that 20 years ago.
Alright.
And it's still that today. Cuma today the platform is different. It's Instagram, it's TikTok.
Yeah.
And then today the artists need to build their influence first.
Correct.
Dia terbalik tau. Dulu kita bakat dulu tau. Kita macam, sini ni boleh nyanyi, sini ni lagu dia best. Okay, jom kita masukkan duit sikit. But sekarang is followers you kenapa sikit, content you last update was 18 weeks ago.
Aduh.
Yeah, so
yep.
I came to Singapore. I came from Singapore to KL with a hip hop gigs punya mindset.
Okay.
Yeah, although I was going to sing R&B in Malay lah. So when I came here, I did layar tancap, Shah Alam. I did a few of those, and I did rantai.
Yes.
Yeah. So and from there, and I had the best advice from Ultimate. Ultimate was my go-to guide. Dia cakap buat je. So the acoustic tour that I did 2011, 2014, 2015, it was so natural. It's like bila dah habis buat benda tu social media penuh dengan posting, lepas tu ada live feed lah dulu, buat live feed, belum ada stories. Buat live feed lah apa semua kan. Other artists macam, how did he get it?
Okay.
How did he do it? I didn't have sponsors, I didn't have a manager, I wasn't from a label. Yeah, because I've always believed in the independent mindset. I've always believed that if a rock band can do it, a pop artist should do it.
I think the mindset
Dia terbalik sini lah.
Yes, correct. That's it. Abang terus tahu. He took it from my mind.
Yeah, it's terbalik. Yes. Because pop artists in the Western media, in the Western world, they tour, they showcase. Ada lagu baru, EP, ada greatest hits.
Yes.
Dia tour. Itu kerja dia.
That's how they get it out there.
That's how they get it out there. And moving with the times, right? People keep thinking, oh, music is going to die, streaming is going to kill the video star, apa semua. It didn't. Diorang makin maju, makin besar, makin membangkit. Yes. And kita kat sini still struggling because kita tak nak ikut. Kita nak ikut bassline, kita nak ikut drum patterns, kita nak ikut swag, tapi kita tak nak ikut fundamentals.
I mean, yalah, swag tu yang paling ketara lah. I might be cracking a joke here, but that swag is really, really visible nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially with social media being in our lives more and more. So, okay, so abang cakap, guys, mana with an independent mindset, I like how abang saying independent mindset. Why not consider touring in part of your, building up and whatnot? You should consider. So moving on, when you say that about when people question you, like, how did you do it without sponsors, without a manager, without a label? So speaking of labels, okay, kita ada kat sini boleh kita pecahkan indie mainstream. Alright, so indie is how I've seen it for almost 12 years maybe. Memang there are people yang comfortable kat situ or wanna push, orang kata go up lah mainstream. But nowadays for the even before pandemic pun kita nampak mainstream macam nak, some might say go down back to gigs. Contoh, we saw Naim Daniel, like mula-mula kita ingatkan dia macam crowd surfing untuk hujan je, but then he enjoyed performing with, orang kata, us down here. Alright, so but why is it that nowadays like ramai artis mainstream nak pergi? Some might say including yourself, but I think hari tu Angkasa Riot was your first in how many years?
In a long time.
But what do you think about now? Do you see that trend?
Yeah, I think it's not a trend. I think I need to maybe wakilkan the -1 pop artist.
That's it.
It's not a trend. It's an opening.
Yeah.
Okay, dia macam ni. Artis pop from the pop industry pop side of things dia kita terbiasa menunggu show tau. Kita biasa menunggu show, lagu keluar, radio main ke tidak, TV panggil kita ke tidak. Kalau kita ada PR, kita ada label, dia dapatkan kita morning shows punya round ke tidak, kita dapat jumpa radio producer ke tidak. Benda ni teka-teki
Okay.
Artis pop tu dia macam kalau kau tak meletup ke, kau tak viral ke, benda tu is a riddle for you Jadi ke tidak lagu aku ni? Jadi ke tidak album aku ni? But when you talk about independent scene, no matter any genre, who is independent. Kalau kau tak buat kerja tu, kau tak dapat kerja tu.
Yeah, who's gonna do it for you?
Yeah, who's gonna do it for you?
Yes.
Because yang record engkau, yang mix kau, yang master engkau, Yang rekod baseline 3 pagi nak betulkan punch in tu kau. Lepas tu bila dah press CD ke, press vinyl ke, kau nak buat press t-shirt ke, tote bag ke, itu kau juga.
Yeah.
So with the opening that kita belajar daripada independent scene, takkanlah tak ada orang yang macam tertarik.
Yes.
Mesti ada orang tertarik. Because when independent goes mainstream, a lot of people macam, oh dulu sekarang tak. Oh sell out lah.
Yes.
Oh sekarang kau mainstream lah, tak boleh pakai show lah. Sekarang nak panggil kau untuk gigs kena call manager lah. Betul tak?
I'm currently facing that right now. But yeah, please carry on.
That's on the other side.
Yeah.
But the mainstream people, labels and all, macam mana budak-budak indie ni dapat 2,000 orang datang, 4,000 orang datang.
Yes.
Macam mana dia punya merchandise boleh habis 1,000 t-shirt? Macam mana dia boleh, kenapa cassette? Why is cassettes back?
Exactly.
Yeah, so benda ni dia berjumpa sekarang because we have come to saturation point. Because indie bands, artists, pop artists, we are competing each other on the charts.
Yeah.
The Spotify charts, the Apple Music charts, the RIM charts.
Yes.
Music bila Joe Flizzo menang tu, I thought that macam this is going to be the start of a lot of recognition for non-pop artists.
Correct.
And that was correct. Eventually SOG and Sheila Hamzah.
Yo, shout out. Yes.
Yeah. So we have the crossroads yang kita nampak dulu, sekarang kita dah blurred lines. Kita dah berjumpa. Francisca, Peter with 7 collar t-shirt, Sheila Hamzah with SOG, Ashmida with SOG.
Yep.
Naim Daniel performing and having a mixed genre gig with Aisyah Retno, with Daniel Chuer.
Yes.
These are people who are so brand new.
True.
While gig goers generally have to have some homework. Tahu macam mana aku nak buat homework budak baru.
Yeah.
So
betul.
kita dah jumpa dah. The seas have met. We have crashed. So sekarang ni macam mana kita nak monetize, macam mana kita nak multiply, macam mana kita nak leverage on each other. That is what is the next step.
Okay bang, very good explanation and dia punya storyline tu baik tau. So but I pun nak add, macam tadi you cakap you macam represent, you nak macam orang kata it's not a trend, but I pun nak represent juga. Kita dekat indie ni, kalau tak payah buat research pun, memang kita pun layan juga mainstream sebenarnya. It's just that there might come a time where you can come across a situation where tak jadi selalu lah, but mainstream pandang hina indie once or twice. Personal experience lah. So I'm just gonna say it out loud from experience orang indie ni. Kita dengan mainstream layan je, ada je CD ke apa, tengok je Astro macam tengok apa yang Aisyah Retno tu apa big stage semua tu kan, we watch. It's just that where sometimes where these two worlds sometimes meet, not always, akan ada macam people differentiate you like you're a different class, I'm a different class, which sucks lah. But kita kat bawah tak pernah kisah pun sebenarnya.
But it's also the same with event organisers and media producers. Macam contoh for Angkasa Riot, my latest punya experience, I feel although I didn't need a backline, I didn't have a band set up, but the plug and play, this is where you're gonna go, this is where what's gonna happen, this is who's gonna help you, that is more organized than a TV production.
I like
that is more because for TV kan, especially lah for a pop artist, kita datang untuk nyanyi satu lagu. Okay, kita datang untuk satu lagu. Dan show tu ada 20-30 artis. Memang dia tak boleh layan. Dia tak boleh layan kita sebaiknya sebab kita tahu dia tengah buat kerja. And the TV production crew tu, dia dah bekerja daripada semalam sampai hari ni tau. So dia tak ada masa nak layan kau punya nak minta ni, nak minta tu. It is a stark contrast with a event organizer who does it every weekend and dia punya comfort level tu lain tau. So me coming into that kind of event, coming into that kind of show kan, it shows lah where kita punya missing piece is, yang kita need to sit down and talk.
I like that.
We need to sit down and we need to talk. Oh, cakap pasal kebanjiran event lah sekarang end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know when the show is going to go up. But end of the year, October, November, December, banyak gila event.
Oktober saya meletup dah.
Banyak sangat.
I dah cakap dekat live ni last week, but I'm gonna talk it with you bang. Oktober je Malik and Essential dah sold out. Fabio Acer Asia, I don't know, sold out. But I spoke to Uber Tickets punya Twitter, dia cakap organisers are working on penambahan tiket.
Second show.
Penambahan tiket and a bigger venue. But penambahan tiket dah confirm. Venue dirahsiakan. I'm like, ni main-main pula. Rizky Fabian sold out. Keluar pukul 3 petang, pukul 5, pukul 6 gone. I managed to get, alhamdulillah. Rizky Fabian. So then Firsa Besari yang Elmi bawa. Oktober lagi 420 2 show. And then our local show House Boom. I'm like,
No, it's healthy.
It's healthy.
It's healthy.
Healthy, memang healthy.
But I share a small insider trick Ramadan and Raya, dia is the Christmas for us Malay Muslims for pop music. Sebab Ramadan Raya ni, dia, lack of a better way to say it, is a cash making season lah.
Faham?
Sebab show Ramadan, appearance on TV, appearances for media, and the recording pre-Ramadan dah habis settle semua. Shoot Raya. Banyak. So because of this massive calendar and potential conflict kan, all the media outlets, diorang dah jumpa tau. Diorang dah ballot, diorang dah vote, diorang dah pick, diorang dah fight for the dates.
Yes, correct.
Because the invitations go out to the same people. So kalau aku nak buat open house raya, media, kawan-kawan artis semua, if you are media house, I'm a media house, we are inviting the same people, we better not conflict dates.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Penting lah.
So just now I said macam the grey area where we need to sit down and talk. The event kebanjiran tu, kita need to talk about that. We need to.
Yes, it has been brought up amongst the DIY organizers.
Yes.
I think I saw this on Twitter once. Faris from ATAU TV, combining with Angkasa Luas, Atas Angin, Fresh Town. They had, I think they still exist in a WhatsApp group, whereas diorang pernah bincang macam, kalau nak buat show yang rasa clash, why not organisers sit down and talk rather than, tak tahu lah, but I don't know lah.
Maybe that would be useful.
Yeah,
that would be useful.
Yeah, because I don't know, maybe okay lah, but at the end of the day, maybe ada yang I want to go on my own, and I still want to do this date. Maybe macam contoh macam Faris cadang, if tak nak clash, tukar date or kita combine ke apa. Because for me, if you come to me, I'm open to ideas. I tak tahu lah organizer lain macam mana, but they have started it. And I hope it's still going on and strong, because I thought kat Angkasa Riot we saw those 3 labels working together. So that's awesome.
No, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
That's super awesome.
Yes.
That is very commendable.
I commend as well with Angkasa doing what it is doing now, Atas Angin punya growth. And it's led by Bam and his team. Bam and the team with an average age of 23 years old dah buat festival hari tu. Semua self-funded, which is like until today diorang masih lagi announcing shows, and they're involved in organising the show of Rizky Fabian here. So macam I saw him that day dengan muka tak cukup tidur, dengan muka lemah. I said, Bam, you're doing well, but please jaga kesihatan, because I totally saw his view. And speaking of view, when you say tadi you sentuh 20 years back ke apa semua tu kan, along the way we saw all these so-called company label punya road tours. Kan kita nampak mall, Jom Heboh, apa lagi, Kegaria, Fun Fair, even way back when. Alright. So in my opinion, if I were to flashback kan, macam band-band macam ada label ke performer, somehow those who were considered, from what I saw, dah consider tua dia orang. Like, why is it that solo ke band ke tak pernah ada sendiri punya tour?
Understand.
I mean like in terms of artis kan. Okay, I nampak touring for them is the road shows. Why not their own tour, in your opinion?
For pop artists,
for yang ada label lah, tak kira yang mainstream
label
lah.
Tak, because label kan, diorang punya calculations and forecast is all based on macam hearsay. Dia orang tak boleh calculate tau, because fame and popularity, virality can't be calculated lah, especially not last time lah. So sekarang ni kita macam, oh lagu ni banyak gila orang pakai kat TikTok. In 2 weeks time, everybody's gonna know the song. In a month's time, they are going to make a lot of media appearances. This did not exist dulu.
Okay.
So the idea of going on tour is expensive and risky and scary tau for the guy on top. Macam, what can you bring me? Okay, what can you? Your MySpace, how many followers? Your Friendster, how many followers?
Dululah.
Dulu.
Tahu tak nama yang abang sebut tu?
How many t-shirts can you sell? So that is macam, and then the band is like, aku sayang engkau. Lepas tu engkau tanya aku. The PR is you, the A&R is you. Engkau yang pilih lagu aku, engkau yang bayar aku punya lagu. Lepas tu bila aku nak pergi buat show, aku nak buat konsert, aku nak buat tour, kau tanya aku boleh manage ke tidak. Kau percaya aku ke tidak in the first place? I think bands, artists alike, pop artists ke any genre yang dalam label, itulah dia punya cycle dia, again and again and again. So sekarang ni lah, so sorry if I'm pointing this out and it hurts. Labels are signing any Tom, Dick, Harry sekarang. Sebab dia macam, just in case dia viral.
Okay.
You get me?
I get you, because it's out there already.
Yeah,
it's out there already.
Publishing atau baik management atau baik lagu, dia macam, sign budak ni. Dia comel sikit, sign. Belum tahu boleh nyanyi, sign. 1 million likes, sign. So, and then kita as consumers as well, kita macam, apa dia orang fikir sign budak ni? Budak ni not ready, you know? That's what's happening now. And then we look at the bands and the artists who are damn tight. They got their own gear, they got their own moves, they know what they're doing, don't get the same opportunity.
True.
That's what's happening now lah.
Yeah.
Benda ni macam ombak yang serious punya tide, up and down lah. Right now, everybody's facing this.
Yes. Masa abang cakap tadi, if people from the top question certain things kan, anda sentuh pasal merchandise lah. You don't see that a lot now. If you go, okay lah, kita nak cakap roadshow kan. Roadshow is not just one performer, bercampur. Dalam mall, stage atas mall. I've done or hosted a few. Merchandise wise, it's either I don't see it, and kalau ada pun maybe 5 years worth of merch, 5 years old punya merch. Why is that? I mean like, okay, kalau orang atas tak percaya sekalipun, every single aspect dia orang tak percaya.
Betul?
Kan?
Yeah, that's weird lah actually. Because pop culture dia sepatutnya kan, dia all encompassing tau. Kau nak curi, kau curi semua. Kau nak ambil, kau ambil semua. And that's why we see as capitalistic lah, semua benda kau buat lah. Aku bagi idea sikit, kau pergi curi. If it is truly capitalistic, kenapa kau tak ambil yang benda-benda yang betul? Benda-benda yang manfaat. It's like you can go to any kind of pop artist from the West and diorang punya merchandise to update every 2-3 weeks. It's like I signed up for like Justin Bieber punya newsletter. Dia update, update kau punya. It's like t-shirt, lagu punya title ada, album punya title ada, muka dia ada, lepas tu dia collaboration dengan other brands. It's not 360. That's why it's not worth it to be signed to a label that does not do these things for you. It's not worth it because you got to think it for yourself. I mean, kalau kau dapat millions of views senang-senang macam tu, tak apalah.
That's another level.
That's another level. I'm talking about the transition between being independent and becoming a mainstream artist. You got to know what you want. It's not about fame and money. It's not. It's about longevity. Of course you want bills to get paid. Of course you want to be a millionaire. Of course you want royalty from publishing. Of course all of these things, yes. Tapi kita nak bertahan. Kita nak bertahan.
Sustain.
Kita nak bertahan 10 tahun, 15 tahun, 20 tahun, kita nak bertahan. And cara kita bertahan adalah memperkenalkan diri kepada generasi baru setiap musim. Kita kena cari pendengar baru, peminat baru, penggemar baru setiap kali kita keluarkan lagu baru.
Yes.
Jadi benda tu cycle tau for us. Kita akan ada lagu baru, ada peminat baru. Lagu lama dia minat, lagu lama dia discover. Lepas tu lagu baru dia, you know, we need to
That's how I do it.
berlapis-lapis.
You discover lagu baru, but then you lagi minat dekat album lama.
Betul.
I've gone
Me
through
too.
that. I've gone through that. And when I say about merge tadi, because merge bila you kata dia ikut generation kan, you can always like kalau nak attract crowd baru, your design of the merge tu you can always design
update
to fit the eyes of the current generation. Macam kartun-kartun kan ke apa ke, because in terms of you, kalau gambar you in terms of kartun pun boleh jual sebenarnya. buat animation IMRAN AJMAIN just your face boleh je bang. I can see it happening. Sebenarnya boleh.
Off the camera just now, I was sharing with him that he can be the authority to create a blueprint for aspiring musicians to do well in the Malaysian industry. So when we're talking about this this checklist is not only for independent artists and it's not only for pop artists, it's also for fans. Diorang nak kena belajar that to appreciate the artist it's not only listening and tweeting. So when we're talking about merch bila kita cakap pasal merch, kita so far behind tau.
Unfortunately.
Okay, let me meet the generations. Independent, hardcore hip hop, hardcore metalcore, Zine culture.
Oh yes, shout out to you guys.
Does not exist today because, like, you can work on PDFs, you can do NFTs, you can do, but you didn't. So benda tu didn't progress. Okay. Another far end of the spectrum, K-pop albums that come in elaborate punya box and booklets. Dia ada coffee table book, dia ada dia punya spiral benda-benda, boleh pasang bateri, boleh
US only printed, Japan only printed type.
Lepas tu resellers, scalpers banyak gila. Sekarang ni kita punya contoh untuk do well as an artist tu banyak gila. From the old to the very successful, kita need to meet in the middle. We really need to have this talk that korang takkan tak ada stiker, korang takkan tak ada badge, buttons, pins, tote bag, buat magazine, buat your own stuff. We need to meet in the middle. That is where independent music is useful for mainstream music to imitate.
Speaking of which, abang dah sentuh. So next question. Alright, tadi abang cakap we need to meet in the middle, line, sit down and talk in the mainstream. So from you say pop or mainstream, what in your opinion can they learn from indie dengan hip hop scene ni?
Independence independence.
For the pop artist to be independent macam diorang juga.
Because the idea of being a star has always been, ada orang jaga rambut aku, ada orang jaga baju aku, ada orang jaga angkat beg aku keluar dari kereta. That's been a fantasy daripada like 18th century. So for you to still be stuck in that idea that I'm going to be famous and somebody's going to do that for me, don't you think that there is a transition level that you need to do the shit work first before you can afford to pay somebody to do that for you? It's like those people are on retainers and gaji and salary stuff. Those people, they are not there to like butter you up, They are there to work. They are stylists, they are makeup artists, they are fashion stylists. They are there to work. So if you are successful financially as an artist, that is possible. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it is a illogical punya fantasy to think that it can happen today. Kau start umur 18, 20, the thing happen to you. No, it's not possible. So you need to have this work ethic, attitude, and just a basic idea that being an artist is work, not on stage. For me I always tell mainstream artists like macam like whenever they get a bit like down, macam tak ada show apa semua, kenapa dapat payment macam ni? You get paid to wait. You perform for free. That's how I believe it. It cannot always be this way. It will not always be in the right. Kalau kau nak, if you want to become that star kan, you got to work ah. And that is something that hip hop, rap artists, indie bands that do well for themselves, that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Sebab dia punya blueprint yang dia nak ikut tu depan mata.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Dia macam, if you're a punk rock band, you have some punk rock band references kan, senang gila dia nak macam, oh aku punya band aku nak buat macam ni juga ah. Senang gila. But if you're a pop artist, it's the fantasy is always been orang lain buatkan aku. Kenapa kau tak buat aku macam, aku nak juga dia punya packaging macam K-pop punya band, ada 7 cover, ada crystal, you know. So that's where the lines are blurred. I feel that because shout out to Bihad. Bihad, he was signed to a major label and he was hurt by a major label.
Oh, okay.
But it did not deter him to continue creating. And at one point, he was putting out so many collaborations that he saw himself left and right. Everybody wants a piece of him. Yeah, so I feel that if he can do that, why aren't you asking your friends to help you? Macam, shoot video aku boleh tak? Macam aku nak buat macam ni. He's a living example, you know, of what you should imitate.
True.
You know?
Even Angkasa Riot itself, berapa banyak artis hip hop dia feature?
You
saw that's actually like if you see it from another level, that's actually a good thing. Kalau orang dah berfikiran luar kotak, tak tahulah. But speaking of luar kotak, your experience kat Angkasa Riot, alright, you saw the acceptance of the mixed crowd yang pakai baju terkorak, yang punk hardcore, rela aku, you know, they were doing all that, you know, keluar air mata jantan as I mentioned earlier. So do you think that ini daripada fans? Okay, I'm talking this from fans' point of view lah, especially how you label them, netizens. Do you think that that's the barrier for indie mainstream punya classification to break off?
What's the barrier?
The barrier of, because daripada fans sendiri, yang social media ni, the bashing tu is like very toxic as to compare kita yang pergi tengok you depan mata hari tu. So do you think like per se these people kita ajak lagi turun? But I know some of them akan cakap, tak nak aku tu tempat tu sex, drugs and rock and roll, you know, because of the tak pernah sampai punya labeling. But do you think if that were to happen, do you think that blurred lines yang you dah kept saying tu will be slightly unblurred? Do you think that will happen if kita gabungkan toxicity commenting saja, tak pernah jejak, but if we bring them, because I'll be open, nak ikut pergi gig, jom abang ambil bawa. Because diorang terus judge kita macam tu je.
I think kita nak kena ada limit to how much we consume hate. Benda tu tak boleh avoid tau. Kita senang aja macam when you have mental health punya talks and you talk about celebrities and the internet culture, influencer, blah blah blah. Diorang selalu cakap, avoid the hate comments, don't reply. Benda tu is not easy.
Exactly.
Because benda tu depan mata tau. It's like dia cakap, ni mak bapak kau tak ada otak ke bagi kau buat benda macam ni. You know, when you face things like that, it's not easy for you to go and macam have a good night's rest and apa salah aku saya, you know, you'll be sleepless. But you need to limit how much you consume the hate. Okay, you need to limit. You need to focus on who's giving you the love. Me as a mainstream artist, and I would consider myself a senior, I've learned that the fame part, the worldwide fame, the national recognition, that part is it's a trick. It's an illusion.
Okay.
You know, some people will get it, and some people will die trying to fight for it.
Okay, understood.
These two things are a byproduct. Dia ada rezeki, ada chance, ada luck, ada hard work, ada
Kabel.
Dia a mix of a lot of factors.
Yes.
So if you do not have these factors, you got to work.
Yeah.
Because if you want to do the part where you become someone, so my tip is focus on 1%. How many followers do you have? You have 2,000. So you focus on 1%. How many? You have 20,000. You have 400. So bila kau buat gig kan, kau ada 1,000 orang, habis 1% is 100, takkanlah 100 kau tak boleh dapat. Takkan kau tak boleh dapat 100 like, takkan kau tak boleh dapat 100 orang beli CD, 100 orang beli tote bag. So kita punya preoccupied mindset kita nak CD MOQ is 1,000. Sekarang dah tak ada dah. Kedai kilang tu dia cakap kau nak buat 5 pun boleh, aku boleh buatkan.
Yes tu, betul.
Those things have been lifted. So you have to lift yourself as well. You cannot macam it's done a certain way. Tak boleh. Dia nak kena ada compromise tau. So bila kita focus on haters and kita tak focus on work, right, and kita nak best of both worlds kan, without balancing it out, it won't work. It won't work for us, it won't work for the bands, it won't work for the audience, it won't. But Angkasa Riot, and only Angkasa Riot for me lah, I feel that it's a start of many things like Malam Galau, the upcoming stuff that's coming on, and for event organisers to see that the audience are so accepting.
Yeah.
This is going to multiply.
Yes.
So artists and bands, you got to see this as an opportunity. I got to work with a mainstream artist. Mainstream artist kau tak liket what, kau nak kena kerja dengan orang yang more open, you know.
Dengar tu, what? Jangan tau.
I'm so passionate about this thing. Aku dah marah-marah dah sekarang dah.
Tak apa bang, because like I said, currently band Grey Sky Morning.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure you perasan ke tak video ni. Kecaman yang teruk because they uploaded, they have many platforms. Tapi Facebook paling kena. Dia because kat Melaka, I forgot caption dia apa, but they ended at Melaka hebatlah hawau. But the screenshots that came out and I pergi tengok, oh my goodness, I'm not sure who are these people yang komen yang, you know, okay, if you don't pay, yang saya cakap that 1% and everything, right, but bila you scroll 80 to 90% tu ibarat macam if you're not strong enough, makes you want to hurt yourself.
Betul. But Facebook is another world lah.
Exactly.
Facebook
Thank you bang.
Facebook is another world. You know, I'm a big fan of Yuna. Big on aesthetics, visuals, graphics, semua cantik. Bila dia ada project kan, dia visual first. So I have this captive memory of how that EP look like, how that album look like because of graphics tau. And people are like, go kat Yuna, go Malaysia. And everybody on Instagram and on Twitter are doing that for her tau. I saw on her Facebook, dia macam, dia tak boleh. Dia macam makan pakai sudu pun dia kena. Dia tak boleh. Orang tak boleh tengok, dia senang. So that's Facebook quality. So I always say this, if there's anybody out there watching and your parents and your brothers and sisters and your nenek and your atuk are on social media, tell them not to mess with other people's kids on Facebook. Fuck Facebook, serious. Orang-orang dekat Facebook ni, dia tak ada limit tau.
Yes! He said it guys, he said it, thank you.
Serius, dia tak ada limit. Dia macam, engkau lah seorang nak pergi syurga, engkau lah paling Islam, paling Melayu, paling indie, paling media. Sometimes the artist tu tak buat apa-apa pun terkena.
Oh yes, definitely.
Tapi there are stupid people yang memang panggil benda tu lah. But generally, Facebook memang mencari even if you are not doing anything stupid. So Facebook is a big no. If you want to leave Facebook as a band, just use it for your ads. Please, don't allow people to comment. It's not healthy at all.
Exactly. So, hope you guys have enjoyed apa segala Pandan cakap tadi. Untuk penutup Pandan, to all the artists out there, alright, your artist friend, any advice for them if they were to like thinking, Imran macam best hari tu dekat Angkasa Riot. I want to go there.
Yeah.
Any advice for them?
My God, talk to Elmi.
As easy as that. As easy as that.
Elmi is very supportive. Actually, the reason why I'm involved in Angkasa Riot is because Angkasa / hashtag and me and my restaurant, Suka-Suka Bistro, we go a long way back because we were both based in Cheras. And when he did opening, we supported catering. When he had events, we always had a post-event at our place. Benda tu just one bulatan aja. But generally, I think you don't need that kind of rapport and history for you to... People will call it cable lah. You don't need that. I learned something very early in my career that I always apply until today. You know, kita artis especially me without management. I have a team, but ultimately I make decisions.
Okay.
So I have a team, I have assistants and all, but I make the decision. So when I have to make the decision, we need to factor in like, is everybody free? Is everybody gonna be there?
Yes.
Yeah, and then we work on proposals. We work on small decks. Macam tak payah macam dulu-dulu kau bagi 20 PDF, 20 page, lepas tu tak boleh download. Tak payah. Kau buat 2-3 page PDF, you as a manager, you as an artist, you as a mainstream musician, and you start knocking on doors with this PDF. Ask politely via Instagram, I'm a musician, I need some support for my tour, for my album, for my single. Let me know who I can speak with. Dia macam, okay, you can talk to this person in Marcom, blah blah blah. Kalau lah dia ada Marcom, or you can talk to my admin. Then you start sending. And when you start sending, it doesn't end until the end of your life. You keep sending because somebody is going to reply and change your life.
It's not dia tak jadi dalam movie je tau. Real life pun boleh buat. So
because the worst thing that can happen is that they say no. Move on to the next person until you find somebody who says yes. So for anyone who would love to cross genre, doesn't matter, we all share the same platforms today. Digital content creators and media, we have access to all of them. All of their emails and inboxes are open for anyone to just say hi.
Yeah.
So if you are a musician, or you're a manager for a musician, or just aspiring to just help somebody in a band, knock on doors.
Knock. You have my energy, you can break it down, why not? But no. Don't use force. Don't use force. Use the brain and the heart. And guys, that's just about it. Kita dah, aku tak tahu korang lah, aku seronok gila dengar Abang Dan cakap from A to Z. Everything has been really orang cakap, orang kata useful. Hope you guys yang tengok pun useful. So don't forget, alright? Dream big, think big, go big. Abang Dan dah go big dah, dia dah ikut aku. So, Hikari Studio, search it on YouTube, we're always there. New episode, siapa next guest ke apa, korang boleh komen or keep suggesting. I see you guys soon with another episode of The Big Talk. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you
so
again. Nak minta dia nyanyi ke? Tak payah kan? Tak payah. Stay safe guys. Assalamualaikum. Peace out.
The end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know when the show is going to go out. But end of the year, October, November, December, banyak gila event.
Oktober saya meletup dah.
Banyak sangat.
I dah cakap dekat live ni last week, but I'm gonna talk it with you bang. Oktober je Malik and Essential dah sold out. Fabio Acer Asia, I don't know, sold out. But I spoke to Uber Tickets on Twitter, dia cakap organisers are working on penambahan tiket.